This episode 9. I'm here with my co-host Akash. I'm so glad to have you boys and gals back to our the can. Akash, let me start you off with a
Actually, I
question.
just got to say one thing real quick. Did anyone ever tell you you have a beautiful smile?
Was that directed to me or the audience?
To you.
Well, you definitely made me smile right now, so I appreciate that.
Very good. So I have a question for you, Arsh.
Okay.
So, how was your dosa yesterday?
It was pretty good. I had some alcohol beforehand, so food after alcohol tastes really good. And if you eat Indian food, such as dosa, tastes very good. So
I was speaking to my dad about dosas, and actually, this was about a couple weeks ago. My grandparents and we all went to get dosa on a Sunday, and what did you know? Every single restaurant was full. There's no place you could possibly get a dosa. And to that, my dad said, "Look at us. Just like every other Indian person on a Sunday, we're all getting dosa." Okay,
doses are definitely a big thing on Sundays, that's for sure.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
You got to get your vegetarian fix. To all those who haven't had a dosa, please try one.
It's
It'll make your day.
basically Indian bread with stuff in it.
For sure. Actually, I think it's more like a crepe, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Something
that's
like that.
right.
Something like a crepe. Okay, so you're at the park, all right?
Park.
You're at the park, you got your ball. Sunny day outside.
Sounds like an ideal day.
So if you had a choice between what kind of game you would play, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, what are you doing? 21, what are you doing?
Oh, so I kind of like transition it up. So I kind of want to like start with a 1v1, then kind of go to 2v2, then 3v3, then possibly like a 5v5 full court like press. That's just me though. Like I just kind of like how it builds up, just makes you focus on different like kind of like skills. Like 1v1, you're more focused on kind of like just yourself, like kind of trying to score against one opponent. 5v5, you're like it's more of like a team-based sport because you're trying to like kind of get ball movement going on, chemistry, kind of care about like your teammates' success and trying to get defensive stops on the other side. What about you?
Yeah, I actually love 1v1. That's what I'm best at. When you increase the amount of people that are on the court, I really lose my confidence. And then I start chucking up shots that will not go in. But I try, right? It's really what counts. I've actually been trying to lift recently. I'm trying to make sure that in the paint, I'm a little bit better. I have a little bit more control. Actually, you lift too,
Yeah.
right? So, what's your routine like on a Monday through Friday basis?
So I have a push pull leg schedule, which is kind of a lie because I haven't hit legs for the past month and a half. But for my push, I basically just do like chest, triceps, and then for my pull, I do back and biceps. And then I try to incorporate a ab routine on every single day. And at least 3 times a week, I try to also do some sort of cardio. Just mainly just like doing some list training on the treadmill. So that's kind of my routine. If my diet was a little better, it might have actually, been proportional to the results. But we're all human beings, and we can always improve in different aspects in our lives.
That's
So,
so facts, man.
yeah. So what about you? I mean, I know you just started, but do you have like a set routine?
Yeah, so I've been starting this thing where I think we've discussed this before. I'm really big into cross training. I don't do CrossFit. I don't believe in that. But I don't believe in that. I don't feel like half the people that do CrossFit really are invested in the mission that they're doing. And it's more or less a cult at this point where everyone likes to exercise and then throw up. This is my statement against CrossFit. I don't like you if you're doing CrossFit. Um, please don't do CrossFit. But I do like to do some form of cross training. I feel that that involves it sort of improves your overall athleticism. So I'll do something where in the morning I'll do some form of cardio, whether that's running or biking. I recently ran a half marathon. Did I tell you about that?
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Congrats.
Thank you so much, man. I'm trying to get to the marathon length at some point, but I'll do some form of cardio, usually 45 minutes to an hour of cardio, whether that's on the bike or on the road running. And then in the afternoon, I'll do an arm workout, not arm, but upper body. So that'll usually consist of bench presses, upper, what do you call the rows?
Yeah, the rows.
Some form of overhead lifts. And then I'll supplement those with either jump ropes, pull-ups, some kind of fast-paced workout that you do in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And I do that as consistently as possible just to generally improve my recovery time, as well as just my general fitness. So I tried to do that a little bit during the rowing season. It's kind of hard to do, but now it's just something I'm playing around with. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could see one major trade happen in the NBA, right? If actually, before we get to that, you're talking about this. We were actually, I saw the same tweet. But this 5-team trade between the Lakers, Nets, Knicks, Jazz, and some other team. What do you think about that trade? This trade
I think the
involves
Suns.
and the Suns, right? It's basically a trade that involves Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving,
Donovan
as well
Mitchell.
as Donovan Mitchell, starting shooting guard for the Jazz. What do you think about that trade?
I think Bleacher Report is a stupid fucking organization that should fucking not do these mock trades in the future because it's actually really dumb. You want to
Mhm.
Kevin Durant is one of the most valuable players in the NBA, and I can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. No one can argue with that. But trading 15 players, which is equivalent to a full NBA team, for a single player is absolutely insane.
Mhm.
And they even showed like Donovan Mitchell being traded for very key players and a lot of players, which also included picks, which will be substituted for players in the future. And I kind of get the background behind this. Like, yes, did Rudy Gobert's fucking trade cause like a lot of speculation on how current and more valuable players will be treated? Yes. But to kind of just like go like ape shit with all that kind of like mimicry is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, life isn't 2K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If
And
life was 2K, KD, Kawhi, LeBron, Steph would all be on the Toronto Raptors right now.
speaking of, did you ever play 2K?
Yeah, dude, I was a big 2K14, 16, 17, and 20 guy. Kind of like skipped.
Okay, yeah. That's good. So I play exclusively, hate to admit this, I play exclusively 2K Minecraft. And
It's a real thing.
2K in Minecraft? No,
2K.
not in Minecraft.
Oh, I was.
Oh, that'd be so wild though.
I think it was like
Yo,
2K,
that's like fucking Roblox.
yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that'd be fucking
That's
wild. Dude,
crazy.
imagine Rudy Gobert in
Fucking
Minecraft.
pixelized and shit.
He
dude.
ruined the game just like he ruins everybody's life.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But right, getting back to 2K. I don't know what builds you usually play with, right? I used to always try to make a guard my career. Did you play MyCareer?
Yeah, I always played a guard too.
You always played a guard,
Like
right?
6'2", 6'3" guard.
Tell me this, right? Do your favorite players tend to be guards?
I mean, my favorite player.
Players in general.
I mean, I'm more of a small forward guy, like in NBA.
Really? Like is LeBron James your favorite player?
LeBron, like KD, like Kawhi, Paul George, if you consider kind of like those caliber players.
That's fair. For me, right? I always like player builds that sort of fit my height.
Yeah.
And I'm a smidge under
I mean,
6 feet
I'll
tall.
tell you why I
And
picked
so-
guards though. For my career, it was kind of like it's like the only position in like because you're trying to like when you're in 2K, you're trying to be as selfish as possible, like my career
Yeah.
especially, and that's like the only position that's like really given the ball like consistently like throughout the court.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like.
I like that too, actually. And so I'd usually go with a point guard or a point guard shooting guard sort of
Yeah.
thing. And you score like 50 points a game. You get like
Exactly.
an MVP every season,
Yeah.
something
Win
like
a
that.
championship every single season.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And so I had been doing that. I actually got 2K22.
How is that? I was just stopped buying.
So
2K.
this is what I'll say. The shot meter is fucked. It's
It's
so
worse
bad.
every
No,
single
the
time.
way it works is you know how before if you really wanted to get a perfect shot, you
Yeah.
had to go all the way to the top of the the bar. Now there's like this weird red section with a little slot in between, and you have to hit that slot to get the perfect shot. So it's way harder to shoot threes. I created a literal like shot maker, playmaker. You know that one, shot maker, playmaker, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Shot maker,
There's a lot of like
playmaker, shot creator. That's what it was. And it was supposed to. I had like 20 shooting badges, something like that. None of them meant shit. I had like Hall of Fame, like deep range,
Wait,
Hall of
can I
Fame.
ask you a personal question? Did you like spend any personal VC on that game?
No, I never bought
Hey,
VC,
I
but
respect
shit
that.
shit took so long
Yeah, it
though.
did.
It's really a grind at the start, and you got to like roll through it. But
Exactly.
one thing I will say is that so really all you can do now is finish, and like I've been doing that. So we all know Tristan Thompson loves to finish. I'm not
Oh
talking
yeah.
about basketball.
With everyone except for Chloe, apparently.
That's true. Chloe has a surrogate. Anyways, so but what I was saying was I recently created a Giannis build, right? And he's not really a Giannis build. He's like 6'9", not nearly as fast. He's a little chunky.
Yeah.
Not Giannis, my career, right? And he also looks like Juice World. He's got the hair, and that's a player creator, right? He's like an 82 overall right now.
Exactly.
And dude, exactly what you're saying, right? I don't start with the ball, and these boys don't ever fucking pass to me.
Never passed.
They never pass me. Like I'm on the Knicks right now, so I'm like, I'll be like,
is that the team you started out with, or did you?
Yeah, because I got drafted by them. I was like the 32nd overall pick or something. I couldn't do the bench presses, so I
Well, that shit doesn't like mean jack and like the actual combine, but they just
Yeah.
make it so important in like 2K for some reason.
They do like, and this shit's so hard. To getting a vertical jump, I always embarrass myself.
Squat is easy. Do they do deadlifts?
They don't do deadlifts.
Okay, squat and like some of the other ones are easy. Bench is so fucking hard to do in that game.
It is, and like I couldn't do any of them. Like I couldn't do like more than like 5 in that
I
game.
couldn't do like more than like 45 for the bar.
Yeah,
that was like my max.
Yeah. And that's like I was like, dude, my dog, you're supposed to be like Giannis. You know what I mean? But anyways, so I was playing. I'm like, dude, I keep asking for the ball, and then they like get me for excessive passing. I'm like, dude, I'm your top fucking scorer. There's no one. I'm averaging like right now. I'm a rookie, averaging 19 points per game. Julius Randle is averaging like 8.
That's because we're probably hogging the ball so they don't get any points.
I'm like, dude, you want to win? You give me the ball, I'll win.
Where Julius Randle's trying to have like a fucking double-digit like point.
Dude,
like,
he's just trying to be a fucking Beyblade. That's what he dreams about.
He just wants to be Pascal. Everyone wants to be Pascal Siakam.
No.
Even LeBron in the Drew League wants to be Pascal.
Julius Randle was a Pascal Siakam before Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, but Pascal.
Okay, he started the Beyblade shit after Julius Randle was doing the Beyblade shit.
Julius Randle was a fat, stupid boy that no one likes.
That is true. Hey, he had a good season though.
Yeah, and then he fucking ruined it with the postseason. Fucking dumbass.
Dude, that postseason was the end of it. What do you think? Do you think the Knicks will, especially with Jalen Brunson this year, do you think they have a chance of at least making the playoffs? Don't laugh. Okay, tell me, do they have a chance of at least making the playoffs?
No.
I didn't know.
Bro, they're gonna like be like the 8th seed.
That's a playoff.
No, I mean, listen to me. I'm saying the best Knicks scenario right now. They'll be the 8th seed and they'll face a team like Boston, Milwaukee, or Miami. And then they're gonna like win like one of the home games, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Knicks in 6."
It'll be like bing bong,
and then and then it'll lose every single games, and it's gonna be the same fucking shit the Knicks do every offseason, which isn't much. They're gonna overpay a player like fucking like I don't even know, bro. Fucking Norman Powell like fucking 300 mil.
They're gonna give Taj Gibson the max.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the New York Knicks the Dallas Cowboys of basketball?
No, I mean I like the Cowboys more than I like the fucking Knicks.
I'm not talking about like the actual teams. I'm talking about the fans.
Oh, fans wise.
Yeah.
I mean like Dallas Cowboys fans are like just notorious in general, but like you could compare Knicks fans with like Lakers fans, I guess. And maybe even
Lakers fans are based.
They're not based.
No, not okay. I think I mixed up the definition of based. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'll say. The Lakers fans, they're not based, but I can understand why. I gotta edit that base shit out. Because I hate Lakers fans. I'm sorry if anyone.
Base is a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. Lakers, there's nothing good about the Lakers really, but what I will say about the Lakers is that they have like 16 chips or something like that. Right.
Yeah, and then half of those chips were gotten when they were fucking like 8 teams in the league, and I'm sure as a Boston Celtics fan you can relate to.
It's true, man. Bill Russell's the GOAT.
11 chips, 8 teams.
Oh man, I need a lift. Shit. Anyways, but no, absolutely. Like, I feel like the Lakers fans are, a team I really want to see wins the Clippers, honestly. Not because I really like the Clippers, but because like everyone spites the Clippers. I want to see them like get back at it. Like, how like what is it, the SPs? Like
Yeah, I saw
Draymond
reports,
Green
yeah.
was like, oh, there's
8 teams in LA.
no, he's like, there are 7 professional. First of all, Draymond Green, dude, fuck that guy. But Draymond. Anyways, 7 professional teams and the Clippers. And to that, I say, well, the Clippers have the best constructed roster right now going into the 2022 season, and they'll somehow let me down. But if they don't let me down,
They're gonna let you down, bro.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is like I just want to see them win for that purpose. But if it was Celtics Clippers in the finals, like obviously I want the Celtics to win that.
Yeah. You always want the Celtics to win these hypothetical situations.
That's the only situations they're gonna win in. You know what I mean?
Maybe you can trade your Mike player to.
Okay, so Victor Wembanyama. So let's talk about him. What do you think about Victor Wembanyama?
I feel like he has a funny last name.
I just wanted to say that because I wanted to say his last name.
He's very, very tall motherfucker.
He is. I think it's actually like he's gonna be injury prone. He's gonna be very injury prone when he gets to the NBA. There's this thing where everyone just wants someone that's tall and can shoot.
I agree. I mean, that's like the ideal. Like
everyone just wants a Kevin Durant for real. And that's like you're not gonna get another Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was one of those rare cases where you had someone that was tall and could move fast. Everyone is but yeah, I don't know what kind
I mean,
of
when you can, I mean, like apart from like shooting as like the like major like characteristic, I mean, like doesn't LeBron fit the tall and move fast like category too?
Yeah, that's why everyone likes it. Well, not the only reason why everyone. He's also like thick. He's girthy. But you know what I mean? He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He's 6'9". He's got width.
6'9", girthy.
6'9" and girthy.
Just the terms.
Actually, I take it back. You want to be tall, you can shoot. So you want to be able to shoot. You want to be tall. You want to be girthy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So basically, like a 6'7" Kyle Lowry.
Oh my god! Hey, check out the Kyle Lowry mix, Mr. Thickums on YouTube, and definitely. Oh, our TikTok at the can 442. Check that shit out.
Yeah.
Okay, so going Kyle Lowry, where do you think he's going in the next few years? Do you think he has a career left in him, or do you think that he's got like a good 3 years before he retires, a good 1 year before he retires?
I mean, I feel like Kyle Lowry's career is projected just the way it should have. Like he struggled a little bit, kind of like in Memphis, Houston, and then he kind of just found his team in Toronto. Stuck with them for a while, won a chip with them, and now I feel like his only job, as not like even as a player, just as a person, is just a ring chase or bag chase, and whichever one he wants to do, like that's up to him. I have nothing against that. It's just like he's old. I don't know. He's just not like. I just feel like Toronto's system kind of really helped him become the player he did. And that kind of like system isn't in a lot of other teams because they're not going to prioritize Kyle Lowry as even a secondary option. So like I feel like like he'll definitely be like help to a team, but like I feel like a ring chasing or bag chasing, like either like a KD or a Bradley Beal type of player would kind of be a good fit for him right now.
For sure. And I really want to like highlight that part that you said about his journey. I think he had his first All-Star appearance in his late 20s, which is actually kind of late for someone that was a perennial All-Star. He didn't just have one isolated All-Star appearance. He had several. He had an All-NBA appearance, arguably one of the greatest Raptors of all time, behind Vince Carter.
Kawhi Leonard.
And can you think of another player in the NBA that sort of will follow that arc, has followed that arc?
I mean, I kind of want to like add to it, like, so like when DeMar was traded to the Spurs, he kind of just like kind of fell out of that like that All-Star scope. And then as soon as he goes to Chicago, he's starting as an All-Star. Would you think that that's like also like a similar situation? Or
I think it's a different kind of situation, also very special. I think that's almost similar to Chris Paul. He was on the Clippers was always one of the greatest point guards of all time, right? But he had a fantastic. I think he was one of the few NBA players to have a 2K rating of 100, or it was like 99, like no, not 100,
No,
99. But he is still like
was
to
it
have.
even 99?
It was, yeah, and like he was like top 3 in MVP voting one year. This was when he was either on the Hornets or the Clippers, right?
Okay.
I think it was when he was on the Hornets.
So it was like an early 2K.
Very, yeah. Well, this was at his peak, and you know, everyone sort of said he went to Houston, no more All-Star appearances. He's now taking the second fiddle role to James Harden. That was what everyone predicted. His career was over. But then he goes to the Thunder, right, in a trade he didn't even want, made that team exponentially better. They were arguably better that year than they were the year prior with Westbrook and PG, right? They went further in the playoffs for sure. No, Melo wasn't on that team the year prior, but he was there the year before. And that was the end of Melo's career. But the end of Melo's career that was kind of the Knicks, to be honest. But yeah, I kind of compare it similar to the Chris Paul's sort of situation. Something I thought was maybe similar to Kyle Lowry's was like maybe Isaiah Thomas, if Isaiah Thomas hadn't gotten hurt with the hip injury.
I mean, like, dude, Isaiah Thomas, like, his All-Star, like, in 2016 was fucking crazy. I don't know if you remember this, but there's a highlight of him in the All-Star game where he was attempting to dunk in, like, players like LeBron, Melo, like, I think even Kobe, they just went, like, they're like, holy fuck, that was crazy. But, like, that was a sole, like, All-Star appearance. Like, I think Kyle Lowry had, like, no, he's only had one.
No, he had two. It was
no, I'm like 100% sure it's one.
You got money on it?
I'll pay $5.
Hold up, this big. I don't even bet money. This is crazy. All right.
I can't. I'll be pretty shocked.
Okay. I know you spell it different. It's like Isaiah Thomas. Okay. 2 All-Star appearances. You see that, dog? It says 2 times All-Star. That is 2015, 2016, 2017.
That's crazy. I didn't know
that. But yeah, so he had 2. But remember the 2017 year, that was the time he was like top 5 in MVP voting.
He was averaging like 29 points a game.
He was at 29 points per game. That too, he was averaging like 14 in the fourth quarter, something like insane in the fourth quarter, right? King of the fourth quarter that year. Averaging 30 as a 5'9" guard on a team that should not have been the first seed. Yeah. And that was something special. I'd say his peak, right, was better than Kyle Lowry's peak.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. But like Kyle's longevity was better than Isaiah's longevity.
And I do think that Kyle Lowry's, sudden emergence, right? It wasn't a sudden emergence. That's the thing. It was like this gradual emergence, that showed like that he was this perennial all-star, this great player. Much later, I actually feel like Kevin Porter Jr. can have a much similar player arc to Kyle Lowry. I don't know if
I think his ceiling is so much higher than Kyle Lowry's.
Kevin Porter Jr.?
Yeah, so much higher.
That's actually
he dropped like 50 points.
He did
something. It was crazy.
But that's my thing. I'm glad that we agree on that. I feel like because he was in a situation on the Cavs where he was having all those like personal issues.
He was throwing soup at people.
He's throwing soup at people?
Or maybe that was J.R. Smith. It was like someone in the Cavs.
Dude, anyone throwing soups at people as a full-grown adult is fucking haram. Yeah. And shout out Andrew Tate. But I will say that Kevin Porter Jr.'s 50-point game, after having a generally successful season with the Cavs, he was the 30th overall pick. He was.
Shout out USC Trojans. We love your condoms.
You went to USC?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love your condoms. But yeah, I mean, his peak is, who knows what his peak is going to be, man.
I mean, like, I don't know, it's just hard. I mean, like, because, like, Cavs got some young bulls. They got, like, Jalen Green. She got Josh Christopher had a great summer league so far. They got some, like, who did they draft? They got, like, Jaden Ivey. What was his name?
They got, who's supposed to be the first overall pick from Auburn this year?
Oh, yeah. I know I need to talk about. So yeah, they have him.
Jabari Smith, dude. The
Jabari
fact
Smith.
that I couldn't say that right away,
I mean, I was just gonna
we're
say
losing
him.
cred.
I was just gonna say Himothy.
I hope we have cred. But
Uh,
absolutely, like
yeah,
they got the third overall pick this year. They kept Şengün,
yeah.
Alpert Şengün, who's actually pretty good.
They traded Christian Wood for some assets in return. So
Yeah,
that
so
too.
they have a bright future. I just don't know if Kevin Porter Jr. fits in that. He's a shooting guard, small forward, so they might trade him.
I feel like he just has so much like resemblance to like James Harden that like the fans just don't want to give him up.
He is. He's a
Yeah,
fantastic isolation.
yeah. He's lefty. He's a great shooter. He can drive. He can pass
He loves
somewhat.
strip clubs.
Not as much as James, but I'm sure he
Oh man,
knows his way around
they
the
can get him
block.
there. They can get him there for
Yeah.
sure. I think he has a lot of potential in that department.
Okay, so going on James Harden. So he took a $15 million pay cut. So the Philly 76ers could kind of use that money to invest it in some better players and just like better, like overall team. What do you think about that?
I think that's how you're supposed to go about trying to win a championship. It's not just about how you play,
He's
it's
still
about how you
making like
can.
30 mil, like either way.
I mean, yeah, but he deserves that 30 mil. He is one of the best. Why'd you make that face?
Sorry, I mean, you can finish. We can talk about it after.
No, actually, let's talk about it now. What do you think?
I mean, like, we're not talking about Rockets James Harden anymore.
Still, I think okay, if someone
Like, okay, let me ask you a question.
I'm trying to come up with a valid example
Put
here.
Rockets James Harden in that series against that Miami Heat team. They're winning it. Yes. Yes.
The Miami team, no.
Bro, Rockets James Harden? Bro, what are you talking
Rockets
about?
James Harden scoring 45 points every single game of that series, and they're losing in 5.
No,
Yes.
they're not, bro.
Yes, they are. I think if you
They're
had
not.
a healthy Joel Embiid and an average Harden on that team, you would have won that series. They did not have a healthy Joel Embiid. They
Bro,
did not.
you
Dude,
think
Joel Embiid broke his fucking
you think
face.
they're better with the average Harden and good Joel
Yes,
Embiid with
healthy Joel
than
Embiid.
prime James Harden? Do
James
you
Harden
remember who
was a
prime James
pure
Harden is?
fucking scorer. That was it. They
Bro,
don't need a
he
scorer.
led an assist too during his MVP season. What are you
I
talking about?
didn't know that. Anyways,
It's okay. It's okay. That's what I
um,
just wanted your thoughts on that.
no, I still don't think they would have won that series. I don't think so. But I think that James Harden deserves the max. I mean, they were considering okay, DeAndre Ayton has a $133 million contract.
I mean, I feel like DeAndre Ayton is more valuable to the Pacers than James Harden
Don't
is to
don't don't say that. Okay,
the
don't.
Pacers. I'm seeing a compare. I'm not saying he's a better player. I'm just saying he's more valuable to the
I
Pacers.
don't think that's even true.
I think
He
that's
he
true.
literally his type of center has no role in the NBA right now. Prove me wrong.
Why is everyone paying him so much money?
Because that's what people do nowadays, dude. The standard for paying people is different. Everyone starts with the fucking max nowadays. No one's like bargaining is gone. There's no more bargaining power in the NBA. People always just start with the most expensive fucking contract they can do and just roll with it. Everyone just says, "Oh, we're gonna give him the max." I'm like, dude, don't give him the fucking max. You give a max to fucking LeBron James. You don't give a max to Miles Bridges. Like, dude, what? I'm like, man is literally.
He's,
I'm not gonna start with Miles
he's
Bridges.
getting that max and
He's getting a very
that
different kind of
max
max,
security prison.
right? And really, shout out to his girlfriend. Like, with all all jokes aside, like what he did was very wrong.
Yeah.
But more so, and that has nothing to do with who he is as a basketball player. Obviously, he was a very good basketball player, right? What he did outside of basketball was horrible. And my heart goes out to, his girlfriend and all that. But as a player, right? They start out with, "Oh, does he deserve the max?" And I'm like, we're saying Miles Bridges deserves the max. Give him a fucking 4-year, $60 million contract. He doesn't deserve the max, right?
I don't know. 4 years, 60 million.
It's still, I'm like, it's just absurd the kinds of prices they
Maybe
go. So if
he's
you
3 or
consider
60.
everything that they've done, they gave Mikal Bridges, who was a very good player, they're giving him a $30 million a year contract, right?
That's a lot of money.
They are. Jalen Brunson is getting a 4-year,
Hey, but
$150 million.
are we considering inflation in these estimates? The raising inflation is fucking everyone up.
Dude, it's fucking me up too. Give me a raise. But seriously, right? James Harden, with all that said, deserves his $30 million a year contract, right? He still has the potential to be a very good player. No, not yet. Okay, Himothy is too far.
Yeah.
Himothy is too far. Is he a very good shooting guard? Sure. Is he him? Do you think James Harden is him?
No. But I mean, like, yeah, obviously, like, he can facilitate the ball really well. If he can even get close to
He
like
can facilitate these nuts.
what?
Hey, let's go.
Let's go. I feel like if you can get back to scoring at least even a little bit to like what it was, I feel like that'd be a good place. But at the same time, like if you have an anchor like Joel Embiid who can like carry the team both on an offensive and defensive approach, then if James Harden can just like fill that second caliber role, I feel like it should be a good place.
Yeah, and I do feel like you look at my criticism of Dame from the last episode, right? Going the absolute opposite direction, right? Getting that 2-year.
Did you lose any respect
120. I never lose respect for Dame. It just look. It's like okay, if your parent, right, does something wrong, you say I'm disappointed in you, but I don't lose respect for my parents. I don't know about you. I don't, right? And Dame's daddy. Right?
Go get that bread, daddy, please.
Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. But if you guys haven't seen already, we have some really cool mixes. In fact, legendary mixes. In fact, I want you all go on to our YouTube, watch our shorts. Beautiful. Right? If you could make any mix right now with any kind of song, what would you do?
So when you say any kind of mix, I'm guessing you're talking about like the player music combination.
Player, music combination, like moment in NBA moment, music, that sort of shit.
That's a really good question. Let me think. Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but I mean I haven't thought of the song yet, but I can tell you the moment and the player.
Mm-hmm.
So my player would be LeBron. I don't know if you remember this, but like what? You remember the moment?
McCann is a LeBron fan page.
It's like Bleacher Report. Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but this is like LeBron's last year in Miami. He was facing the Golden State Warriors. So like this is before like their whole dynasty, and they faced the Spurs in the finals, whatever. So like the Warriors are up by like I think they're up by 2 or something like that. And then this was like last second attempt to go. And then Wade came with the ball, gave it to Chalmers. Chalmers gave it to LeBron, and it was like really iconic because like it was in Oakland that time, and the Warriors commentators are like, okay, like we got to double LeBron, we got to double LeBron. He's like the best player in the world, and the only player they had on it was Andre Iguodala. So like he was just like there, and LeBron's kind of did that, like the through the legs, step back, step to the side, step back, and just shot a three from the left wing, and then he got it, and then they like led by 1, and it was under like 0.3 seconds. So just like by like rules, you can't like get a shot off. So they ended up winning it, but bro, that was fucking crazy. For the song choice that's a good question. I can't think of anything on the top of my head, but definitely something that's like pretty intense. I could see maybe Swimming Pools by Kendrick. Like that'd be a good choice. What about you, my friend? What do you pick?
That's a great question. So trying to think of a great moment. Oh, you know what I want to do? So this is just gonna be the first thing that comes to my mind. So this is actually sad because they ended up losing this game.
Yeah.
But I want to do game 5, 2021 playoffs, Nuggets versus Trailblazers.
Right. Is this the one that went to like 4 overtimes?
No, this went to 2 overtimes.
Oh yeah.
I actually might have gone to 3.
Oh, this is like a long game, yeah.
Yeah, Dame had like a playoff record. I think he had 55 points and like 15 3-pointers or something. I don't know, something crazy, right?
It wasn't massive... 15, so that's not the max is 14 by Clay, but probably a lot of threes.
Okay. But it was it was like a pretty big game, and it was like one of those games where every time, you'd have like 3 seconds left in the clock, Nuggets would be up 3, and then Dame would hit a 3-pointer for like no reason.
Okay.
And it would just be constant, 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 constant. And I think a great song for that, just because I was listening to it earlier today, Flex by Polo G.
Hey,
And I think that'd be a cool mix, just because that's what I can think of off the top of my head
rest
right
in
now
peace,
of
Lord.
something, because I was watching this highlights earlier today and I was like, damn, I really can't wait for this guy to be back.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to our episode. So our conversation on basketball is pretty generic. We kind of just talked about the current events happening, what's going to happen in the future. But we do have a couple of special guests lined up for a future episode. So like, please tune in. Please follow our YouTube channel. Akash is doing a great job kind of like editing and uploading the videos. Please follow our Instagram page. We have some cool mixes, some memes, and just current updates about the NBA. And until next time, my friends.
See y'all.